Josephine's Restaurant and Catering. We offer lutong bahay Filipino dishes and desserts. Try our crispy pata, lumpiang Shanghai, pancit palabok, rellenong manok, and many more. We serve halo-halo, leche flan, and other traditional Filipino desserts. For events and special occasions, Josephine's also offers catering services and takeout party trays. For authentic Filipino cuisine and true Pinoy taste, try Josephine's Restaurant and Catering, 2650 Main Street in Vancouver.
Balitang Vancouver is brought to you by Brayfort Media Group.
Hello kabayan! Narito na ang isang linggo ng mga balita tungkol sa ating komunidad. Mga isyo malapit sa puso at nakakaapekto sa buhay ng mga Pilipino. Ako po si Franco Telek.
Boses at kwento ng mga Pinoy dito at mga latest entertainment features. Ako po si Manny Noel Abuel. Ito ang Balitang Vancouver.
Sa Balitang Vancouver ngayon, labor dispute sa Richmond IKEA patuloy pa rin.
Jeepney Story Mobile sa Suri, inilunsad.
Work Safe BC, may bagong workplace anti-bullying at harassment program, pinatupad na. Patuloy pa rin ang labor dispute sa IKEA Richmond kung kaya't inalam namin ang panig ng management kaugnay dito. Narito ang report.
Sa patuloy na labor dispute sa IKEA Richmond, inalam namin ang panig ng management kaugnay sa isyong two-tier system na ugat ng problemang tumagal ng mahigit 6 na buwan.
Prior to the mediation, one of the number one concerns voiced by the union was that they were concerned with a two-tier wage system. And so, one of the things that we wanted to do through mediation is to look and explore what are some other things then that we could do that would provide perhaps something that was more favorable in eliminating the two-tier wage system.
Dagdag na may ilan ring mga empleyado ang nanumbalik na sa trabaho at may karapatan na dapat maprotektahan.
The union has actually chosen to put our coworkers on trial who have returned to work and have chosen to expel them. So from the union, and in our contract, our coworkers need to be a part of the union in order to work with IKEA. So because the union has taken that action and made a decision, we do not divulge the percentages of coworkers that have returned to work out of protection for our coworkers. And it's really important. I read something that said that that was action against our coworkers. Of course, it's not against our coworkers. That was action actually toward the union. We absolutely appreciate the freedom of speech, the freedom to certainly say what you want to say about how you interpret the situation. However, IKEA trademark, IKEA logo, IKEA, any of those types of things should not be utilized. You shouldn't deface a logo or a trademark, and so that's the only thing that we've objected to, and that's what's currently taking place right now.
Tinanong rin namin kung anong ginawa kaugnay sa lawsuit laban sa Union, kaugnay sa pinalabas ng mga leaflets kontra IKEA.
So at this point, we are just pursuing that further, that it needs to stop.
Pinaalam rin sa amin kung anong nangyari sa nagsarang Japadog store sa IKEA.
That is really a shame. I mean, a local business, a small business who just, was a great opportunity for us to celebrate our catalog and the excitement and the folks that are coming in right now and excited about the catalog. Great for that. Really great for Japadog to be able to come at a time when we have thousands of visitors visiting IKEA, to be able to generate some business for them. I feel really bad that they were targeted, in that way, because this was just a great business opportunity for them. And
habang mainit at kaanya-anyaya sa loob ng IKEA Richmond, patuloy ang operasyon nito na may karagdagang schedule pa.
We absolutely are still open, and the coworkers and the managers here at the store are very committed to providing our customers with a great experience. We're excited about the new catalog, got lots of new product in the store, which is fabulous. We are switching our hours next week. We are going to be open every day now, so our Tuesday closure has been changed. We're going to be open Sunday to Wednesday from 11 to 6, and then we'll be open on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 11 to 8. And we look forward to servicing our community as we have been for many years.
Habang patuloy ang operasyon sa loob, alamin naman natin ang estado ng union workers sa labas ng IKEA Richmond.
Samantalang malamig, mahangin at umuulan sa labas ng IKEA Richmond, inalam namin ang estado ng mga union workers na patuloy na nakastrike.
After we last spoke, like when Henji and Wilson talked to you a few weeks ago, the only other thing that came about was a lawsuit was filed against the Teamsters kasi nga ho, we sent out mga leaflets regarding, you know, stating yung mga concerns namin, yung pinag-usapan o the contract, right? And we just wanted to let people know what's going on because we've been out here for almost 6 months now, and still nothing's coming from the company. No negotiation talks yet, right? So we just wanted to move things right along. But then, of course, the company didn't like that flyer that was sent out, so they filed a lawsuit against Teamsters, seeking you know, punitive damages and general aggravation, and that's because of the. On the one side of the leaflet had the IKEA name to it that had lockout, right? So they're like right now, both parties are talking about it. You know, the lawyers from IKEA and lawyers from Teamsters are just trying to, you know, fix this, you know, this issue, and hopefully it won't go any further. So, but I believe they have a court date on November 6th. So anytime between then, if things get settled, then they don't have to go in and, you know, deal with it in court.
At habang patuloy ang kanilang sakripisyo, tinanong namin ang lagay ng mga manggagawang nanumbalik sa kanilang mga trabaho.
What it's about personal principles, right? I had to sacrifice myself and every other full-timers. Because as a full-timer, I'm not going to be affected as much, right? My pay will be pretty much the same, except that my benefits will be cut down. I don't agree with that simply because I've worked my way to where I am. I get what I worked hard for, and I don't want the company to take that away from me. Now the sacrifices, like I said, everybody has their own reasons for, you know, staying around here and going inside. People who went inside, you know, they say they have financial issues. We all do have our financial issues. We have mortgages to pay. We have our health issues to look after, right? I am diabetic and I have high blood pressure. And now, you know, I don't have any of my benefits, so I had to cover my own medical fees, right? So that's hard. And then now, every year, I send money to my family back home before Christmas. So it's a little hard, you know? I have a mom that needs my help, financial help. She's sick back home. But I can't send money on a regular basis just because I'm out here. You know, I have to, you know, like support myself first before I extend my support to my family back home. And you know, sadly, another member of my family passed away just recently. So now I can't even extend my own help because of that, right? So it's hard. This is just me. I don't know what every other person out there is, you know, what's happening to them. But as a group, that's why we're still out here, because we support each other. And that's what we want from each other, right? Big support, you know, like we can go through all this, like we will manage to get over this, but we just need to be together. And this is what we're fighting for.
Bagong stratehiya naman ang ipatutupad ng Union sa layo na mahikayat ang management sa negotiating table.
There have been some very exciting developments. We have been able to invite a delegation that's made up of various representatives internationally to come and investigate and fact find here. They're supposed to be here on November 6th and 7th, and they're going to be looking to interview the workers and find out what is going on here and see whether or not if this is a local issue or whether or not this is actually branching out to be more of a global problem. And we're very, very happy that this group is coming out here, because I think it's going to be really important to break this open so that everybody can see what's going on here. And this is not about us looking for a massive monetary gain here. We are looking to maintain what we have, and this company came to the table to take away many, many pieces of the collective agreement that have been important in supporting these workers and their families over the years. I'm really hoping this delegation that comes out for the fact-finding will help to jumpstart a negotiation, or at least start a dialogue again with this company on a local level to try and get this dispute resolved. That's first and foremost. Secondly, as far as preparing for sort of the winter season, we are very much involved in taking care of each other. We've had certainly donations from other unions and other members in the form of clothing and food donations. And on the big scale, we've had some pretty sizable donations from other unions as a hardship fund to help take care of these people while we're out here. Our general appeal, really, this is all about IKEA and the money that they're making, and the best way to bring this to light, to make an impact here, is do not shop at IKEA, do not shop at any IKEA, and online as well. Don't shop online as well until this labor dispute's resolved. And write in to the company, write to the manager of this store, Janet McGowan, and express the concern for these workers on behalf of these workers.
May panawagan para sa ating komunidad at nagsabing ang paraan ng pagsuporta.
To the community lang po, okay, ang aking pakiusap lang is to please not patronize the company. Don't shop at IKEA in both Richmond and Coquitlam hanggang hindi pa nakakabalik ang mga empleyado ng Richmond. Okay? Kasi mentras na sinusuportahan nyo yung kumpanya, lalo kami mahihirapang makabalik. Ang gusto lang po namin ay makabalik kami sa mga trabaho namin na para naman na makabalik din ang mga buhay namin. Right? You know? So, hanggat maaari, please, do not shop at IKEA at this point until this whole labor dispute is over.
Jeepney Story Mobile, isang mobile na eskwelahan para sa mahirap sa Pilipinas, inilunsad ni Dr. Idrene Alparaque sa isang gathering sa Zurich kamakailan. Narito ang report. Matapos ang panalangin, pinangunahan ni Dr. Idrene Alparaque ang mini-launching ng proyektong Jeepney Story Mobile sa pakipagtulungan sa Hope for the Nations.
This was really actually my brainchild. Like, my daughter actually suggested it to me. And she said, "Mom, why don't you call it Jeepney Story Mobile instead?" Because I was just going to create a library on wheels. And she says, "Well, it's in the Philippines. If you want people to be interested in it, the jeepney is iconic, right? So it catches attention."
Ang layunin ng fundraising dinner night ay ang matulungan ng mga biktima ng kaguluhan sa Zamboanga kung saan tinugis ng otoridad ng teroristang grupo ng MNLF. Dagdag ni Alparaque na gamit ang Jeepney Story Mobile ay may pagpatuloy ang edukasyon ng mga batang pansamantalang di nakapag-aaral sa lugar. Nagpapasalamat si Alparaque sa tulong ng Hope for the Nations para maisakatuparan ng proyektong Jeepney Story Mobile sa Pilipinas.
The city will basically own the jeepney, right? But the one inside, the curriculum, the offerings, the educational efforts and the learning resources, Hope for the Nations Canada will bring it to them through the jeepney. Because I'm working with them. Like they sort of invited me to be the one to coordinate this effort. It's my program actually.
Para sa mga karagdagang impormasyon at makatulong sa proyekto ng Hope for the Nations, sumangguni sa opisyal na website.
Simula nitong Nobyembre, ang WorkSafe BC ay nagpatupad ng Workplace Anti-Bullying at Harassment. Alamin natin ang mga dapat tandaan kaugnay dito.
Simula nitong Nobyembre ay ipatutupad na ng WorkSafe BC sa lahat ng pangpubliko at pribadong kumpanya ang polisiya laban sa workplace bullying at harassment. Inalam namin kung paano nabuo ang polisiya at programa kaugnay dito.
In July of 2012, the government brought in changes to the Workers' Compensation Act, and those changes allow for compensation for workers who have suffered a mental disorder as a result of significant workplace stresses such as bullying and harassment. So if workers can now receive compensation for that type of thing, we have to put in place prevention measures to make sure that employers try to prevent this type of behavior in the workplace.
Ipinaliwanag sa amin kung ano at papaano nagaganap ang workplace bullying at harassment at kung ano ang mga tungkulin ng employers.
That's right. So as of today, all employers must be in compliance with the new occupational health and safety policies regarding workplace bullying and harassment. So it's important to understand what workplace bullying and harassment is and what it isn't. So we're not trying to govern every type of unpleasant behavior that happens in the workplace. It's really the most severe and extreme types of behavior that is covered under the definition. So things like yelling and swearing, sabotaging somebody's work, or vandalizing somebody's personal belongings. These are examples of the type of bullying and harassment that employers are going to have to address.
Sa pangunguna ng WorkSafe BC, may mga polisiya at prosesong dapat tandaan, lalo't kung ang mga employers ay di susunod sa mga alituntunin. Ang WorkSafe BC ay nagbibigay tulong sa kanilang opisyal na website.
If there is bullying and harassment in the workplace, the employer has to have procedures in place to allow the worker to report that occurrence. And so the first place for the worker to go is to the employer and to report that. If the employer is the person who is bullying and harassing, then the employer must have an alternate reporting procedure. So there must be somewhere to go if the employer is the bully. If the worker feels that the employer has not adequately addressing the situation, then they can come to WorkSafe BC and report the situation to us. If we hear about incidents and complaints, we will act on them. And this may result in a prevention officer coming to the workplace and inquiring and finding out what programs and policies does the employer have in place. Now, as with any regulatory change, there will be a period of adjustment. We understand that. And so we're not taking a very heavy-handed approach in the beginning to enforcing these new requirements. There will be a short period of time where we will be going out and educating and consulting with employers to make sure they understand what the new requirements are. And so if an officer goes into a workplace, as of today, and finds that the employer does not have policies or the policy statement or the proper procedures in place, then he will or she will tell the employer what it is they have to do. They will come back at a later time and they will check to see whether the employer has undertaken those requirements. If at that time they haven't undertaken those requirements, then they could write an order against that employer, ordering them to comply. And if the employer still doesn't comply, then there is the chance that they could be penalized. At the root of every bullying situation, there is a power imbalance. And it's not always the person who holds the formal position of power in an organization that can be the bully. Bullying can occur between, as I said, all types of different people. So the safeguards are if you come forward and you report a bullying situation and you end up being fired or demoted, there are protections under the Workers' Compensation Act. We call them the discriminatory action provisions that will assist that worker in seeking a remedy. So they can come to WorkSafe BC and say, I reported a bullying and harassment situation with my employer and I ended up being fired or demoted, and I would like you to address that. And as an organization, we're entitled to do that. Employers can go to our website, www.worksafebc.com/bullying, and there they will find a toolkit of resources. So we have some great resources that can help them implement these types of these new requirements. We have fact sheets, we have animations, We have training tools. We have all kinds of templates that they can download and implement in their workplace. So if a prevention officer comes in and sees that you're not in compliance, they will refer you to the toolkit and the resources, and they will expect you to look at those and to implement the new requirements, as I said, and they'll come back at a later time and expect you to be in compliance. And we have to remember that these are, this is a new law in BC, so everybody covered by WorkSafe BC must comply.
SSS naglunsad ng outreach program dito sa Vancouver para muling makumbinsi ang mga kababayan natin na ipagpatuloy ang kontribusyon para maisiguro ang kinabukasan ng mga miyembro nito. Nitong mga nakaraang linggo sa Vancouver bumisita ang pamunuan ng Social Security System o SSS sa layong matulungan ng mga overseas Filipino workers o mga kababayan natin na temporary foreign workers dito sa Canada.
Isa ito sa tinatawag naming outreach program ng SSS para sa ating mga overseas Filipino workers. Inumpisahan ho namin ito noong 2011 nung nagkarapan kami sa Middle East and Europe para maintindihan namin ano yung mga kailangan ng mga ating mga Pilipino na overseas Filipino workers. At nakita nga namin na particularly dito sa Middle East, marami hong mga kababayan tayo doon na hindi sila covered ng social insurance, ng social protection. So sabi namin, importante hong mabigyan sila ng pagkakataon na ma-reactivate nila yung kanilang SSS membership. Kasi alam naman namin na nagtrabaho sila sa Pilipinas dati, may SSS number na sila. So sayang na hindi nila ipagpatuloy para pagdating ng panahon at tumanda na sila, pwede silang mag-retire sa Pilipinas at meron silang pensyon.
Ayon kay President CEO Emilio De Quiros Jr., ito ang kauna ng SSS Outreach Program sa Vancouver at nagsabing ang pondo ng SSS ay tatagal lang hanggang 2039 dahil sa dami ng perang nalikom mula sa mga miyembro at mga investments sa Pilipinas. Ang SSS benefits ay sintulad sa Employment Insurance Benefits o EI na tinatanggap ng mga manggagawa dito sa Canada kung saan covered din ang sickness, maternity at disability benefits. Dagdag ni De Quiros na may magandang karagdagang programa ang SSS tulad ng housing loan at flexi fund kung saan ang isang OFW ay makakapagdagdag ng kontribusyon na mahigit pa sa hinulugan kada buwan. Ang flexi fund benefits ay tax-free at maaaring gamitin matapos ang 3-year membership period. Sa kasalukuyan, mas mataas ang SSS interest rate kumpara sa savings sa bangko. Mahalagang tandaan ang mga paraan kung saan pwedeng magbayad ng SSS contributions para sa karagdagang impormasyon sumangguni sa opisyal na website. Sa ibang balita naman, Federal Liberal MP John McCallum dumalo sa isang press conference para sa Filipino media. Narito ang report. Noong nakaraang linggo sa Kamari Restaurant sa Richmond ay nakapagtagpo si Liberal Party Member of Parliament John McCallum sa Filipino media. Sa aspektong track record ng Liberal government, ito ang sinabi ni MP McCallum.
When we came to power in 1993, we inherited a $42 billion conservative deficit. And under Jean Chrétien and Paul Martin, that was fixed in a few years, and we paid down debt for close to a decade. So in 1993, Canada was a basket case of the G7 fiscally. There was talk of the IMF coming in. There was talk of Canada being an honorary third world country, and it was bad. But by the end of the Liberal period, we were the number one in the G7 in terms of our fiscal position, our low debt, and our shrinking debt. Then Harper inherited a surplus of $13 billion, and before we even got to a recession, he changed that into a deficit. And so right now, we have a big deficit, as you say, and we're getting deeper into debt. And so that was under Harper, whereas under us, we had surplus and paying down the debt.
Sa isyong imigrasyon, pinaliwanag ni McCallum ang plataporma ng Federal Liberal Party para pag-ibayuhin at bigyan ng prioridad ang family reunification class para makasama ng mga bagong Canadians ang kanilang mga kapamilya sa Canada.
We would not tolerate the waiting times which we are observing today. I'm hoping in our platform we would make commitments to reduce those times We would have to put more resources into certain embassies to process applications faster. We may have to increase the numbers allowed in each year, but we would find ways to bring those waiting times back to reasonable levels as they used to be, rather than the extremely high amounts of time that we see today.
Alamin naman natin mula kay kasamang Jedro ang latest community event.
What's up everyone, Jedro Magtoto here, the Filipino-Canadian. So tonight we're here at the Coronation Ball for the Miss Calendar Girl Beauty Pageant, brought to you by the Luzon-Min-Visay Association, based out here in Vancouver, BC. So tonight we're actually going to check out the event, maybe interview the contestants, the organizers, some guests, and if we're lucky enough, maybe eat some food. Let's go.
I'm super excited. I'm good. I'm a little nervous, but for the most part, just really excited to be here.
I'm a little nervous, but very excited.
I try to like breathe and like calm myself down, but I'm also a cheerleader, so I'm with like the nerves all the time and the anxiety and the adrenaline, so I'm pretty used to it.
I'm with Verna Bod. She's one of the organizers of the pageant. How are you feeling?
Feeling great now. It's gone. It's done.
Were you surprised how it turned out? Were you happy with the turnout?
Yeah, I am pretty happy with how it turned out. Everybody, I hope, is happy and having fun.
Hey everyone, I'm with Beth Kwan, the president of the Luzon-Min-Visay Association. So how do you feel? How do you think the night turned out?
You know what, Jed? It is beyond expectation. I'm really happy, and it's a very successful event. And thanks to you guys and to the BODs and all the people behind in this event. It's a wonderful thing, and congratulations to the girls, the Miss Calendar Girls of 2013, especially the Miss Luzon.
So what you saw in there was a real good class of showmanship. Everyone in there loved each other. They're all showing positive vibes, and I have to admit, I had a really good time there. Not only that, the food was really good. That's how the Filipino culture is. They actually get together, they all want to have everyone have a good time, and at the end of it, they just want smiles and people remember their events. So Jedro Magtoto here again, the Filipino-Canadian. Till next time, peace.
At dito nagtatapos ang aming programa. Samahan niyo po kaming muli sa susunod na linggo para sa mga latest news ng mga Pinoy dito sa BC. Ako po si Manny Noel Abuel.
Sa kalusugang inaalagaan, mas mahabang kabuhayan. Ako po si Franco Telek.
Ito ang Balitang Vancouver.